Welcome to Read the Book First, a book to movie adaptation podcast. Today we are talking about Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. And to help me dive into the fairy tale that all is Marissa.
Yay!
Woo! I haven't thought about the book Ella Enchanted. I've rewatched the movie tons of times over the
Yeah,
years.
timeless.
Yes, but I haven't reread this book probably since I was in grade school. It's been so long, and rereading it, I remembered how obsessed I was with Gail Carson Levine's books.
I understand what I've never read it. This is my first time ever reading
You've
it.
never read it?
I've never read
Oh my gosh,
it.
that's so exciting.
Never.
I,
If I had read this when I was a Ute,
yeah.
oh my goodness, I would
Okay.
have been obsessed as well.
Have you read anything else by her?
No, never.
So I remember in third grade going to the books and I had read through essentially I had a big Ramona Quimby phase. I read all those books. So I got all that kind of vibe of books, right? A lot of Judy Blume books. I
Sure.
went through all those. And then I started going into the fantasy section because I couldn't read Harry Potter yet because I hadn't also figured out how to get around my parents not letting me read Harry Potter.
Sure.
So I was limited. And so I got these books because they're about little princesses, right?
Yep.
And so I read this, and then she has a ton of fairy tales and twisted fairy tales and retellings, a ton of them. And I really think that this is the reason I got so into retellings because it went from this, then I went to Shakespeare retellings when I was in high school. I was obsessed with all of those, and then it
Yeah.
just kind of spiraled out of there. I truly think it's because of Ella Enchanted.
Honestly, I understand.
Yeah. For those that have only seen the movie, the book is quite different.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, we'll talk about it, but like the
mhm.
prince is barely in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he
And
plays a major role in the movie.
yeah. And Gail Carson Levine's writing in general is grittier than a lot of middle grade princessy fantasy books are. It is at that reading level, as far as the syntax of words and stuff. But it she doesn't shy away from things that maybe kids shouldn't be thinking about.
There is some jokes in here that I was like, damn.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
it made me laugh really hard.
Hmm.
Yeah, quite
Yeah.
often.
I I do remember when the movie came out because I probably read this a year or two before the movie came out. And I remember me and my friends who loved this book were so upset that the movie was so different. But then we kept rewatching the movie and I think we just kind of erased our memory of the book almost.
Okay.
And I was
I
texting Chandler, friend of the pod, and I was like, "When do you remember doing this?" And she had a different experience because her cousin was obsessed with this book, and so she hated it because of her cousin. So that was different. But my other friends
Sure.
loved it. Ella Enchanted is also a lot younger. She's 15 on the edge of almost 15 at the beginning of this book.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was like. Does this end with her getting married? And it does, and she's still very young when that
Yes.
happens. But
Yeah. So the beginning of the book, if you've seen the movie, the beginning of the book starts very similar. We have this girl named Ella who was given the quote gift of
mm,
obedience from Lucinda, who is a fairy. Um, and the Lucinda is convinced that this will just make her a great baby, a great child that she'll listen. But immediately, Ella's mom and godmother are like, "This is the
of
worst." Because
course, you of
honestly, it
course,
is one of the worst curses you can think of.
yeah.
Uh,
That's dark. It's dark. It
uh-huh.
starts off dark. She's like basically saying like whatever you tell this baby to do, it has to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And the descriptions of whenever Ella tries to fight the urge to obey it sound painful. She
Yeah.
has noise in her brain and she can only obsess. It's almost like how some people describe OCD in writing. It's she's she cannot get away from this idea that she has to compulsory need to go and do this thing.
Yeah. It makes her
And
sick and
mhm, yeah. And right away she learns quickly how if someone finds out about this, the wrong person finds out about this, they can abuse it. Because she tells her friend Pamela, um,
damn it, Pam. Can't
about
take
this.
Pam and the
Truly.
shrinking
And
pans.
yeah, and right away she like abuses it, and then because of that, her mom's like, "Okay, I forbid you from telling everyone about it," which makes sense again for a child, but that
Right.
itself has issues.
Yes, that comes back around where
Yeah.
it's a problem.
Hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah. The dad is like he's a salesman and he goes and like he goes to different like kingdoms and trade stuff. So he's like kind of out of the picture and he also doesn't know about this spell or
And
curse.
he's a crook and a dickhead.
Yes, he is. He's also absent for the beginning of the book,
Yep.
thankfully. Um, the mom does end up getting sick, and so does Ella. And the godmother, Mandy, like makes this soup that Ella drinks and heals her, but purposely the mom takes out like the unicorn hair or whatever.
And then drinks the soup and puts it back in.
Yeah.
I don't think you needed to drink the hair. It just
Uh,
needed to be in the soup.
yeah.
Girl, get over it.
Right? And I was like, so like her being a picky eater is the reason she ends up dying.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I just in that beginning there, like we have this like godmother, which at this point we don't really we just think it's like how what we consider a godmother. And
Yeah.
she's also the a cook in the house.
And she is a
Essentially the
fairy.
nanny. Yeah, yeah, we don't really like we find out about the fairy part a little bit later, but I do like how it's like the magic of this story kind of like slowly starts. Like okay, it mentions like unicorn hair. Like, okay, so unicorns exist. Cool. We
Hmm.
have this like big fairy who did this awful spell, but it's not
Yeah. There's like
active in the
little
story.
magic and big magic.
Yeah,
And
which I think is a fun mix, but the mom does die.
well,
Cinderella.
it's Cinderella. It's
Yeah,
gotta happen.
it's gotta
Yeah.
happen. At the funeral, Ella's like trying to stay away from the crowds because she's pure, like she actually is mourning, whereas her dad is just kind of being a shitty
He's like
guy.
wanting, like she's crying and he's like, "You're embarrassing me," which
Yeah,
is like, it's her
yeah.
mom's funeral.
And her mom was the one that had the title, where her dad was just a commoner. And so there's like that kind of like class dynamic as we go through this book.
Hmm.
Even though Ella was not raised like within like royal society or whatever. So she's kind of an unruly kid, even with this obedience curse. She's like,
Yeah. Her mom raised
yeah.
her to be like headstrong, and the
Mhm.
dad wasn't around to like quote unquote enforce propriety. So Ella is a little bit of a sassamouth,
Yeah. Yeah.
headstrong,
Oh.
which is why I would have loved her. Which
Hmm.
is why I did love her as a
Hmm.
34-year-old and why I would love her
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
a, 12-year-old or whatever this is
Whenever
marketed.
you're reading this, yeah. And I think that stuff like reading and thinking about all these Cinderella stories like we did with last week's episode. A lot of times Cinderella characters they're good people, but they're like almost like too good, like the Disney Cinderella, or
They're
they're
like
like,
Mary Sue's, where it's
yeah.
like they're blank slates.
Hmm. Or they like are quirky, like good and quirky. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like they're
yeah.
clumsy,
Yeah, yeah.
but
They're
they
not like
mean
other
well.
girls, but
Yeah.
Ella is like
Yeah.
she is like other girls. She's
Yeah.
just like headstrong,
Yeah. She
in
says what she
whatever way that
means.
means. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she still thinks boys are cute
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
likes
Um,
pretty dresses. And I'm like, thank God.
yeah.
It's okay
She
to be, it's okay. It's okay to be like that.
Yeah. At the funeral, when she's like hiding from her dad, this is where she meets Char for the first time. So the prince, his name is like, I forget what his name is, like Charm,
Armand, or
something like
it's
that.
probably French or something,
Charmant,
but
probably. It's probably. But he goes by Prince Char.
Charmant,
Yeah, Carmint. Um,
Kermit.
Kermit the Frog. Um, and Char, he's like comforting her. He's like, I really liked your mom. Of all the like ladies at court that I had to sit there and listen to, she was funny and she could do these
Hmm.
impressions and she spoke cool languages. And, so they like strike up this friendship at the funeral. He's heard of Ella via Mandy as well and like her antics, right? Which is I kind of liked that. Like, it's not like, oh, you are this mystical girl and you're just so, how dare you speak that way? Now I'm attracted to, like, it's not like that. He's like a normal dude that also is a prince.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Which,
Again, he's not in the book much, but he was a fun character
Yeah, yeah.
because
Um,
he's obsessed with Ella. He's obsessed
Truly,
with her.
such a
But like in a
teenage
not like a
boy.
weird way, but like
No,
just a,
like at a
like he got crush.
hmm yes. Um, then we meet Dame Olga, Hattie, and Olive, who will end up being the stepmom and the stepsisters. And Dame Olga is like just obviously a gold digger, but is clueless to the fact that Ella's dad is also a gold
He's
digger.
broke.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he's a con man
yeah,
and a bad one, so he's broke. Yeah.
yeah. Which I really enjoyed that bit of it is like they're both trying to con each other.
Yep. And
And
boy, do
yeah,
they get their comeuppance for
oh yeah,
that.
oh yeah. And at the wake back at home, Mandy kind of like starts to tell Ella more information that Mandy is a fairy, though she can
Mhm.
only do small magic. And so Ella's like, "Break my curse," and she goes, "Girl, if I could, because
You
only
think
the."
breaking a curse is small magic? Girl, get a grip.
And then I also like that the trick of it is that only the fairy that gave the spell can undo it. So even
Mhm.
if Mandy wanted to, she can't. And I think that's a good like plot device to keep this like character in Lucinda to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's a good
It's not.
plot hole fix.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One
Mhm.
thing that like happens after the wake and that is kind of throughout the book is that even though Ella has to follow orders, she is all about that malicious compliance. So like her dad, they get home after the wake and he's like, go put on another dress. And she, instead of choosing a black dress, which she knows was the intention behind his comment, she chooses like a bright green dress.
Hmm.
Or like, yeah, so she'll like she's all about like the theory of the law rather than the intent kind of thing. Yeah,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
she's like she I love that about I so she's so smart and
Hmm.
as someone who's a little bit into malicious compliance myself.
And like when she's like forced to like move stuff around, like she's not like she's clumsy when she's like trying to fight against the like command, but also sometimes she's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I am bringing it to you. I spilt it, but I brought it to you."
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
nothing in it. I
Yeah.
cracked all the eggs,
Yeah.
but yeah, I
Here you
love
go.
that.
Yeah. Um,
I love that.
it's also important to
It's
note, as far as the Cinderella of it all, that Ella is also and her mom are part fairy. Like they have a drop of fairy's blood in them, which means they have small
Mhm.
feet.
Yeah, this is where the here's your foot thing.
Because like, but it comes up like two or three times later on in the story. Like that's how you spot a fairy because they can like shapeshift essentially to different people, but they always have small feet. That's their tell.
Like and they must be teeny
They
tiny.
must be Barbie feet,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So weird proportions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're just up on their toes, like arched.
Gross. Ella being herself, but her dad's finally around her for the first time after the wake, and he has like extreme anger issues, like as just like, and losing all this money, and has like essentially decided that she's gonna go off to finishing school. Like he's like, you can't be around here because I don't know what to do with a child. And
Yep.
this is, awful for many reasons because one, her mom just died. So now she has to go somewhere else and go away from Mandy, her only true family member left.
Mhm.
But also she's now going out into the world and has to deal with all the complications that her curse lays out for her. And
Yep.
that's terrifying. Like
Really terrifying.
there's a
And
reason why
like,
she was kept at home.
right, because
Yeah.
it could get her into a lot
Hmm.
of horrible situations.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mandy gives her her mom's necklace and also this book, which the book I had forgotten about. Like I truly thought the book was just something that the movie had invented. And we'll talk about the book in the movie next week. But the book
Why it's
is
so
so
big?
it's yes. But the book, the fairy tale book here, like it has like the fairy tales that Mandy told her, but like it's a magical book and like it's such a like weird idea if you think about it for too long but also it's a great, again, plot hole cover.
Yes, it's so good for exposition.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
the perfect way to not have to change POVs and
Hmm.
still get
Get
information.
the information where there's,
Mhm.
there's no telephones or emails in this world. So how are we going to do that?
Yep.
Yeah. But before she gets sent off to finishing school, she goes to see the exotic animals. And this I had no memory of. Like the rest of the story I kind of remembered, but this
The
exotic animal part, it is a
menagerie.
big part
Yeah.
here because like she loves animals and she also has this talent that she can learn languages fast, which is that because she's a fairy or because of her curse?
I don't know. I think maybe she's just good at it, you
She's
know?
just good
Some
at it.
people are
Yeah.
just, yeah, she just can like mimic
Yeah.
languages really quickly
Yeah.
and like pick up on the accent really
Yeah.
well.
But at this like zoo of sorts, there's a bunch of parrots and she talks to the parrots and the parrots love her. And there's like a baby dragon, but then there's also centaurs. And this creeped me out
Dead-eyed centaurs.
because centaurs, they're still humanoid in the way that we think of centaurs, where bottom half horse, top half human, but
Yeah.
they're like described to be like dumb and
Not
not just
like not like
like
dumb like a dumb person, but like
like
brainless.
like a squirrel or
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Like a
like a
rabbit.
rodent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're human and people keep them as pets.
Hmm.
And that was so disturbing to me.
Th I agree completely. I was like, why did she choose centaurs? That's half human.
Like why not unicorn? It's
Yeah,
right
and
there.
like
Yeah.
centaurs are like in mythology are typically like quite wise and
And unruly and like
right. A
they're
unicorn is
not
just a horse
yeah.
with like a growth.
Yeah.
Horses are very smart. I don't want the horse girls to come for me, but
It's just like why? It doesn't make sense.
yeah, and
And it
it's
creeps me.
creepy. They have like human eyes, but there's like no
Yeah.
emotion. It's like it's like serial killer eyes. Like there's no
Yeah.
emotion behind them.
Yeah. It's creepy. I don't like it. But she runs into Char at the menagerie and like they're talking and stuff and they end up going by some ogres that are imprisoned. And we also find out this version of ogres, which I liked a lot, is that the ogres are very persuasive, which is how they get people to come close to them and do what they're supposed to
Right.
do. Which so I like that because one ogres we always think of like dumb ogre or we think Shrek. Like those are the two ogres we have you
That's
know,
right.
in our brains. But this one's like they are like scary and gross and monstrous, but they also are cunning.
Yeah, but they can like convince you to not think they are
Yeah.
because of
Because
like how persuasive and how like I don't is
yeah,
it, I imagined it like their voices are very beautiful.
like a siren or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I think it's also fun because it's a set, it's this closest that everyone else deals with that what Ella deals with daily. And I thought
Yeah.
that was a really fun spin on it.
Like and it like she is able to kind of counteract their magic eventually, whereas like people
No one
other
else
people
can. Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. She ends up saving a baby gnome from getting kidnapped and then almost gets forced to give the gnome to the ogres because of her curse. But then her and Char, like Char's able to stop it. And like there's this old gnome grandma who's like so grateful. And I like the amount of magical creatures that are just kind of like dropped and then we never see again,
Yep.
which like is
And this
fun,
is the
but
craziest languages. Like, I would love to listen to this as an audiobook because, like, at least a quarter of the dialogue is Ella talking in a different language that is like nonsense.
yeah,
Like, no,
yeah.
like the gnome languages is like, how can you pronounce that many Z's in a row? How is that possible?
And then and the old gnome can like sorry, the gnomes can like see in the future and like they give like a vague fortune to Ella, which I thought this part was unnecessary because if this is obviously a version of Cinderella by now, we know this. We're not even to the like the meat and potatoes of Cinderella, but we know this is a Cinderella retelling. We don't need a very obvious in the future you'll have three figures and they're not friends.
Right.
Like
And Ella is so smart. Like, she just does not need that because
yeah,
she is a very good judge of character.
yeah. Yeah, so that part I thought was like Couldn't
She's
they
like,
just give
I
her like a
know.
basket of food or something? As thank you, or a flower?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
yeah.
Keep your auguries to yourself. Keep your auguries to yourself.
Yeah. But she gets sent to finishing school, and Hattie and Olive are also going back because it's the same finishing school that they go to. And in the carriage, Hattie is just like classic mean girl, and she immediately figures it out that she can command Ella to do stuff, and Ella has to do it. And so she takes um, Ella's mom's necklace from her, and like just uses it when they're at the school just
Yeah.
for constant bullying. Um, which is,
And it's so realistic that that kind of mean girl would be the one to figure it out.
absolutely, because they're very smart
Yeah.
and
But
evil.
but her sister is so stupid.
There has to be one mean girl one and one stupid one.
Hmm.
Yep. There's, the archetype of stepsisters out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Ella does make a friend. How did you pronounce it to yourself? The friend's name? Areta?
Oh, oh yeah. Arita?
Areta? Areta?
Yeah. Either or.
Okay. Areta of
I can't
Amanta.
remember what the friend's name in the movie, how it's
It's
pronounced.
it's a little bit different. Yeah, I think it's different. But yeah, but Arita is from the neighboring kingdom of Amanta, and she's there, and her family is like they moved and they own like a hotel a couple towns over, or something like that, and kind of like immigrating into this kingdom, and she gets bullied a lot for like what's essentially the book's version of like racist issues. Um, from everyone else at the finishing school. So her and Ella are like the outcast together, and they're good friends, and but Ella is obviously hates school because if you like any sort of like direction from any teacher, she has to do it, which gets her in trouble all the time because it has to be the most literal version of it.
Right.
And then you have the Hattie bullying her on top of it, and I'm just like, in
It's
this
the worst
retelling,
possible situation.
yes,
Not the
and
worst possible, but up there.
up there. Like, but for a book about a 15-year-old version of Cinderella, like it makes sense that she's writing it from this perspective because every kid knows this kind of scenario, like, but it's just dialed up.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
but at the school is when she starts flipping through the book and she starts seeing letters from Mandy, and this book can essentially tell her information that other people don't want her to know, or it's not for her.
Yeah, it's like she can sometimes it's photos
Yeah.
or
Sometimes it's letters or diary entries
mhm,
of other people, or like letters like Mandy's writing to Ella in this case, but sometimes it's like her dad writing to Dame Olga,
right. Or
and
like
but she can see
Char's
it.
diary
Yeah,
entries.
later on. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is like so fun and so juicy, but also
Oh,
does not make
did the
sense.
dad and Dame Olga get married at this
Yes.
point? Yeah. And then Lucinda blesses them, quote unquote, that they'll always
Oh,
love
that's
one another.
yeah. Yeah.
Is
I
that
think
is
that's
that
I think
theirs?
that's later, but yeah, that is what they get. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That's because she's at the wedding
Oh, right,
later.
right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all right. Um,
Maybe.
but um Mandy tells her that Simon, who like this is random dude that worked at the zoo, brought
It's
her a
like
parrot because the parrots love her, and it's like, what?
that's a
Why bring in
that's a
this child a
curse.
parrot?
That's a
Yeah,
curse in and of itself. Owning a
truly.
parrot,
But then Char brings to Ella a centaur colt
which
named
is a
Apple.
curse. Apple
And
is a cute name for a horse, I'll say.
yes, not a centaur.
Not a centaur.
Yeah. But he's like, but I'll keep it at the castle until she's back from finishing school. It's like again, he's obsessed.
He's obsessed.
Yes. And then we have like shenanigans where like not shenanigans because rightfully so, Ella is like retaliating against Hattie's bullying, but then she ends up reading a letter that Dame Olga wrote to Hattie about wig care. So we find out that Dame Olga and Hattie wear wigs.
Mhm.
And
Will you wear
so
wigs?
I was just thinking about to say that. When will you wear wigs? What? Uh, kinda. I love that video. Um,
Uh,
but also we find out via letters that Char is going sent on a military mission to go help his dad deal with ogres and then all that such. And so uh Ella is like fed up with the bullying, fed up with dealing with the teachers, but she also finds out that her dad is going to a giant's wedding, and she knows that, and he's also like writing that he's going to try and find fairies. And so she's like, okay, I can go and try to go to this wedding to one, escape school because I hate it, and two, to find Lucinda so she can break this curse so I can have a normal life. And so she, when she's leaving and running away from school, she also takes Hattie's wig.
she straight snatches that wig.
Uh-huh. Yeah. As she's traveling, she meets elves and Slannon specifically, but we know from like a letter we read or something that her dad like thinks the elves are stupid and don't understand trading because they don't trade or offer him good deals when they go, but they have like this specific pottery that that sells a
It's
lot
like
and he really
made by
wants it.
yeah, it's like made by a specific person,
Yeah.
whatever.
And so when Ella goes there, they welcome her and she treats them like, good people. And so they're like, here's this fancy pottery that your dad wants, but you can keep it. And so we have the bits of like Ella being a good person.
Because she like appreciates it for its beauty and
Hmm.
not like for how much money it can be
Yeah.
sold
Um,
for.
yeah. She keeps on traveling and then she gets captured by ogres. She tries to run, but of course she gets ordered to stay. So she's literally stuck there. But
This is it, and
she,
it's exactly what happened with the
uh-huh.
baby gnome,
Yep.
where
She was
like,
almost out of it, but because she's
yep,
smart enough to get out of it until the curse
mhm,
locks her in. But
yep,
she starts learning ogre ease or whatever they call it, and is able to persuade the ogres to not eat her and instead to go to sleep. And so she's chilling there because she can't leave because they told her to stay.
yep,
But she got them to fall asleep. And so she's just sitting there in the woods. And of course, Char's soldiers show up. Um, they have like this, like, kind of like intense battle of sorts. Like they don't talk like it's not too graphic for a middle grade book, but like they don't not talk about them slaying ogres, you
yeah,
know?
that's right. Do they
Uh,
slay all? I don't.
I don't think they kill them. They at least
They
injure
like
them.
are like hog tying them and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Um, but Ella's able to help them persuade the ogres to chill and not kill Char and his men, so that ends up saving them. And she teaches Char and his knights how to speak ogre so that
Yep,
they could keep them imprisoned. And Char ends up sending a knight with Ella to go to the giant's wedding.
yeah.
Which I was confused of why Char didn't go with her. Because like that would be like the
He's
cutesy,
busy.
I guess. He's just a prince or whatever.
Yeah, he's busy. He's got stuff to do.
Yeah. Um, yeah. They get to,
This is what I'm saying. It's like different than the movie in that
yeah,
way, where like
yeah.
they're on that journey together, but he's just like,
Yeah.
okay, go do your thing.
Go do your thing.
I'll
Good
see you
luck.
later. Did
We're
you like the centaur
teenagers.
I got you?
She gets to the wedding, and I love the description of all the big food, the
And
huge
how
food.
like I love the giants. They're like, oh, a stranger? Okay, perfect. That's exactly what this wedding needs. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, what a nightmare.
Uh-huh. But their wedding, I also really liked the description of the ceremony the
Oh, the tree
guys have.
planting.
It's like very endearing and it's like a
Mhm.
very sweet little wedding for these giants, very
Yes.
gentle giant.
Very gentle giant.
Mhm. And Ella's like avoiding her dad because she sees her dad, and so she's avoiding her dad to avoid getting in trouble. But she does end up finding the fairies because she knows to look for small feet.
Yep, that's right. Again, how
Yeah,
small are these feet?
right? Lucinda, she finds Lucinda specifically, and Lucinda gifts the couple to always be together.
Ugh, yeah, to like never be
Uh-huh.
parted.
And her fairy friends there are like calling her out and being like, your gifts are not great, but like they like Lucinda is known to have like big reactions, and so they're like trying to be coy about it almost.
Yeah.
And Ella decides to go talk to her. Lucinda commands her to be happy.
Be happy like that she's so obedient because she doesn't know that she's the one who gave Ella this quote unquote curse
Yeah,
or no, real curse, quote unquote gift.
yeah,
Um, but she like Ella tells her like, "Oh, I'm like a very obedient girl."
hmm yeah.
At least it's like, "Oh my God, I love giving that gift to kids and ruining their lives." Yep.
These
Thanks,
kids need a
Lucinda.
support group and some therapy.
That's right. That means there's multiples
hmm
of children out there who have this horrible, horrible
Yeah.
curse upon them.
Ugh, awful.
And also like the one she gives to the giants is like my actual worst nightmare. That they can never be parted.
Yeah.
They cannot like have any privacy or go on trips separately or
Use
yeah,
the bathroom.
use the bathroom, basics.
Yeah,
Horrible.
awful. But Ella's now forced to be happy, finds her dad. Her dad at first is like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I didn't like it." And he's like, "Well, you're gonna help me with my schemes now. We're going home. I'm gonna get married to Dame Olga, and she doesn't know we're broke. You can't tell her."
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll try to marry you off for some money, is the plan.
Yep.
And so they go home and he like has this old man come over and is trying to get Ella to like um be nice so the old man will pay and marry Ella, and he makes um he makes Ella make this mushroom soup that like makes you fancy or be attracted to others.
Yes, he
Yeah.
drugs her.
Uh-huh.
This book is dark.
Uh-huh.
He literally drugs her so that
She'll be
she
nice.
will be like loving towards
hmm
this old dude.
Yeah. And luckily, Mandy's there and figures out why Ella is not fighting back against this and uncommands her to be happy. And it's like, she's like, feel what you feel, like
Yes.
whatever is what you truly feel. And so Ella's able to like escape that situation. And this is like, this is when they're about, Dame Olga and the dad are about to get married. So Ella's like, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, I gotta figure something out because I don't want to go back to finishing school, but I also don't want to marry an old man. And now
And
Dame
I don't want to
Olga
live,
and these
yeah.
girls are gonna live with me, and I'm stuck
Well,
here.
they go to their house too. Like they're going to live with them, which is
Yeah.
almost worse. Like,
hmm
yeah,
Yeah. But Dame Olga and the dad get married, and at the wedding, Ella hangs out by the fire because Cinder, Ella,
sure.
gotta
Hmm.
get that in there.
Yep.
Um, Lucinda gives them the gift of eternal love. And which is so funny because they're both conning each other.
Yes,
And then now they're in love, and so they're gonna be stuck together for literally for richer, for poorer.
yep. They love each other, but they
Uh-huh.
also find each other horrible.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
very funny to me.
Uh-huh.
It's so insidious.
Yeah. And Ella runs away to hide somewhere else in the castle that they're getting married at. And so she's hanging out, being antisocial, when Char shows up and they end up like running around and like going through these secret passages and they find these old glass shoes in this cupboard somewhere and they like go sliding down the banister, you know.
This, this whole scene very much reminded me. I don't, have you seen any Little Women adaptations?
Yes. I see
Okay.
the one with
Winona Ryder.
yeah.
Yeah. Jenna Shore. Um, but there's a scene in Little Women where like Lori and Joe are outside of a party and they're like dancing between the windows. Like
hmm
they'll just like walk normal when they're in front of a window and then they'll dance all crazy when they're like on the other side of a window. And this is what it reminded me of,
Yeah.
this scene in Ella Enchanted.
Yeah.
Then them just having fun.
There's two kids having fun
They're just
away from
goofing
adults.
around.
Yeah.
That's right.
But they do get caught sliding down the banisters and messing around.
That
And
sounds so fun.
right. And like the dad, of course, is like super mad, but then they realize the prince is there, and then they all get super embarrassed by it. And they're like, "How dare you treat the prince this way?" And she's like, "That's just Char. We're friends. Like, it's
Yeah, this
chill."
guy.
Yeah. And then they go and they start moving into Dame Olga's house, where this is where Ella's like, "Oh, we're poor now, and they're poor now, and my dad's out selling stuff, and I'm stuck here." And as soon as the dad leaves, Dame Olga's like, "Ella, you are now our servant." Because
Hmm.
Hattie tells Dame Olga that she has to do whatever
Yep.
she says.
Yep.
Um, and now, and Olive also knows that now. So Olive is literally torturing
Oh
Ella,
my
doing
God.
menial, stupid stuff, and
Like,
making cakes.
talk to me for hours and hours
Yeah.
and hours. I'm like,
Count my money that I stole from you.
yeah, right.
Make me another cake. Make me another cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Um,
God.
and it's awful her being stuck in here. And like luckily Mandy's still there at least, so that she has Mandy. But in Ella's book, it shows Char's diary entries, which is wild,
Yeah.
wild. But we know that Char's in a different, he's in the other country, like on a diplomatic, trip or whatever. And he's like,
It reminded me of Game of Thrones. You know how they like trade? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He's like, they're like, at first he doesn't like it. And then he starts to like it a little bit,
Mhm.
they like a lot of singing, but not many other normal activities that they do in Char's kingdom. But then
Yeah.
Ella and Char start writing letters, and I love them writing letters. It's so cute. It's like they have good banter while also being realistically 15 and 16 years old.
Yep, I agree. It's it's very, and hear their personalities in the letters too,
Yeah.
which is hard to do, I think.
Hmm. And that goes on for about 6 months. And then after 6 months happens, Char writes a letter saying that he loves Ella and wants to marry her. And this
Crazy.
freaks out Ella because understandably, because she's like, if someone finds out, like my stepsister, that I have to do whatever they say, then could like they could force me to kill Char or betray the kingdom. So I
Mhm.
can't marry him because of that, because she has like this loyalty,
Right,
right?
she's a huge liability to be
Yeah.
anywhere near the
And
royal.
she
Yeah.
cannot tell anyone that she has this curse, so she couldn't even explain it to Char
Yep.
to be like, I can't marry you because, you
Right.
know.
She's stuck.
And
Ugh.
it's so heartbreaking. And so she writes a letter from Hattie saying that Ella had lied and eloped, and like to try to get him. And this like breaks his heart. And we see his like diary entry of that. It is so heartbroken.
So
It is
sad.
so sad.
He was so obsessed with her.
Uh-huh. It's like I'll never love again. Like dramatic 16-year-old stuff. And then
Yeah.
is this
Oh.
when Mandy finally gets Lucinda to show up again? I think so. There's
Yes.
a whole
I think
squirrel
s-
bit.
yeah, the squirrel thing. Yep.
Because Mandy convinces Lucinda that if her gifts are really that great, because Lucinda's also known for turning kids into animals.
Into squirrels.
Yeah.
Those are
Um,
her two gifts,
yeah.
quote unquote.
She's like, if your gifts are really that great, then you should take 6 months and go and live out those uh
Right. Then you should love
lives.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she does that, but she comes back after being an obedient kid and also a squirrel, and like it's like, I regret everything. I've learned my lesson. No more big magic at all.
hmm
But
And
then
Ella's like,
I was
whoa,
like,
whoa,
wait,
wait.
wait, wait, wait,
What?
wait.
Maybe one more big
What?
magic and then no more? That would be
Yeah.
super cool for me.
Yeah. And instead she's like, I'll do some small magic because Char has returned from the other kingdom and is holding three balls because his parents want him to get married, etc., etc. Cinderella stories.
Yep.
And Lucinda's like, I'll do some small magic and get you ready for the ball, but you have to be back by midnight, that whole bit.
Yep.
And um so she goes to the balls. The first one, she's like trying to kind of avoid him and just kind of look at him. But of course, he like finds her. She goes by, what is it, Layla? It's
Uh,
Ella mixed up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Leela or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Of Aortha, which is the other country. they like dance, and Char doesn't necessarily tell her at first, but like he's definitely interested in her.
Mm.
And then she goes to the second ball.
Is he? I mean,
I mean,
maybe. I
it's
don't
like
know.
he's intrigued. Maybe not like as much, but like he's definitely like, you're funny, at
She's
least.
still Ella, right? So
Yeah.
he's still like,
Yeah.
he's like, she's funny,
Yeah.
like my lost love.
Yeah. And then the second ball, he dances with someone else, and she is so jealous about it that then she's like, fine, I'm gonna go and dance with him. Um, and then he sings a song, an Aortha song, that the lyrics are "Remember me, I remember you," which I just like. They are so in love with each other.
You guys,
Um, and he's like, "Stay late next time. I wanted to meet you to meet my parents."
wow.
Mhm. And then the third ball, she meets the king and queen and dances with Char, and then gets interrogated by Hattie. Hattie thinks that she's like some other girl at first, at least. Um,
And how do you think she's gonna like win the
yeah,
heart of the prince?
yes. Um, but Char at that dance has been like, I decided I'm not going to get married because he's so heartbroken over Ella. And he's
Yeah,
like,
that's
none
right.
other can do.
We can be friends, but we can never get married.
Yeah. Um, but at the ball, Hattie rips off Ella's mask and reveals that it is Ella. And so
This
Ella
is one of
runs.
my favorite things,
Yes.
is like that a mask that hides
Uh-huh.
this
Like in a Cinderella
only,
story
yeah, I'm like, nothing else is different.
or Zorro. Like,
Like, any one of my friends that I'm close with,
yeah.
if you put a mask on, I'm still gonna know it's you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Sorry,
It's
can't
like the
trick
Clark Kent
me.
thing of it all. The glasses,
I mean,
what?
that is egregious.
Right?
Glasses? Anyways,
Ella runs home and Charles follows because one of the glass slippers that she's wearing falls off, and it's the glass slipper that her and Char had found. And so he's going and he's trying to ball to all the girls, figures out that Ella is Ella, even though she's like stuck as a servant in the house at the moment. And he asks her to marry her, and Ella freaks out because of all the reasons why.
all
And
her
in this
valid
like
reasons.
yeah, and in this like freak out, she ends up being able to break the curse herself, in order to save Frel and Char. And then uh Char ends up asking her to get married, and then they get married.
Enter the song Cinderella by the Cheetah Girls.
Yep.
She don't need no
Yeah.
man. She don't need no
Yeah.
Lucinda.
But I had so much fun rereading this.
It was so fun.
Yeah. And like, you know, weird parts, like still not over the centaur of it all.
Yep. Hmm.
But
And the
like,
centaur comes back
yeah.
multiple times. And each time it got them dead eyes.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just like picturing some creepy uncanny valley situation.
I
Yikes.
think it's a really good middle grade
Yes.
fantasy book.
Because it's not like too like it's obviously Cinderella, but it's not like and then the fairy godmother went bippity boppity boo. You know, it's not that much of a retelling.
Yeah. And Ella is like a real character. Like
Mhm.
she's a good person, but she's not a good person. And because she's like perfect at everything,
Yeah.
she has some grit to her.
Yeah, she chooses to be good when she wants to.
Yes.
Yeah. Um,
She's got a good heart, but is rough around the edges.
yeah. Yeah. Do you want some fun facts?
Heck yeah.
It's only two of them, but this
Oh,
is this is Gail Carson Levine's first book published, and it took her about she like she sent books and drafts in for other projects for like 9 years before this one got picked up and published. But this started as a prompt for a writing class she was taking in this process, and then she just went on and finished the story.
God.
And in interviews, and Gail Carson Levine has talked about that her favorite part of this book is the letters between Char and Ella, which I'm like, same.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yes, yes, yes.
I like the ogre. seen.
Ogre's
It was
also
fun.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I think this like really does lend itself to the 90s version of like fantasy stuff, you know? Like
absolutely.
even trying to get the movie images out of my brain, which is hard,
Yes.
it's still
This
like
is the same problem I ran into with Princess Diaries.
yes, yes. Yeah. But it's like a quirky fantasy, but it's also not perfect and shiny, like, and it's a little bit messy and it mostly makes sense. You just don't think about it too much.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Just
But
have fun with it, you
absolutely.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad you read this. I thought you had read it before. I don't know why. I just
No.
assumed everyone had.
I think it's probably a good assumption, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
I've never read it.
Yeah.
When did it come out?
1998?
Let's see. Copyright 1997.
Seven.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I never read it. I would have been like the perfect age.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked I never picked it up out of the library.
Yeah.
Because I love those, like the Royal Diaries or whatever they're called.
Obsessed.
Obsessed with those. Love them.
Obsessed with those. And
Yeah.
this did win a Newbery Award. That's important
Yeah.
too.
It's a
Yeah.
and it's good.
Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy I read it.
Better than the last book.
Girl, yeah, that's right. You tortured me. You, two episodes in a row, torture. The
Yeah, it's
book
okay.
and the movie for that horrible birding, whatever
Right.
nonsense.
You're stronger for it.
No, I'm dumber for it.
Thanks everyone for listening. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Read the Book First Podcast. Come back next week. We're talking all about the movie Ella
Yes.
Enchanted. I'm so excited. Strange Magic is already playing in my head right as we speak.
Mhm. Oh
Um,
my God.
oh,
Speaking of jukebox musicals,
oh
did
my
we say that
gosh,
in the last
truly.
episode? It's so
Yes.
good.
Yes. Make sure you rate us 5 stars. If it's not 5 stars, don't worry about it. And
Mhm.
remember, read the book first.